I'm about to show you 4 of the best, most important settings that you should always have so you can have the best accuracy and the less recoil possible. I'm not gonna show you all my settings. I'm gonna show you only those 4 because I will be building up another video on all of my settings. That way you can also copy those too. But on this one is just so you can have the best aim and accuracy and less recoil. So for the most important ones, this is my sensitivity that I use, which is 8.8, okay? And I also play tactical flip because I shoot with the top buttons, which is L1 and R1. If it feels too fast for you, you could always lower it down to 7.7. ADS is 0.95. For my dead zone, this is what I have. And I have 5.99, 5.99, and 0 and 0. Having this set to 5 and this one set to 5, it will definitely make it easier for you once you're aiming and tracking. Now for the aiming settings, right? You want to go here and you want to go to aim response curve type, which usually everybody always have it either on standard, linear, or dynamic. But most of the pros and I guess everybody else, we always use dynamic. But there is a trick to this one. Once you select dynamic, make sure to go here and show more. So this one, aim response curve slope scale, is usually all the way to the right, which is always going to be, as default, is going to be to 1. You want to set up this one to 0.00. Once you have it like I'm showing you right now to 0.0, it's like you're pretty much having both of the best world, which is going to be dynamic and linear at the same time. Now this is how it looks when you're actually shooting on the shooting range. Right there I have it to dynamic and 0. So it's pretty much like really steady. It's really steady when it comes to switching from one character to the other character, you know. So that way, the reason why it's all the way to 0 is so you can actually kind of snap onto the target and it just doesn't slows you down. Boom, boom. So it's pretty much really nice to do a transition from one character to the other character. Usually when you have dynamic all the way to 1 as default, it just tends to slow you down a little bit. Now if I'm using linear, for those people that know what linear means, is like you pretty much don't have too much aim assist, which is actually pretty good too, because it allows you to snap from one target to another target even faster. You know what I mean? Like if you're in mouse and keyboard, like for example like this, like you go this character, and then the other character. See, it's like you can do that so quick. Now you will have to just like get used to it. I'm not even used to it. I'm not even that used to it. But if you get used to it, they're gonna think like you just on mouse and keyboard or something like that. Because like I said, on linear, it's not like you completely lose aim assist. You probably have like 10% off aim assist. Like, cause look, the reason why I say you don't lose it is because if I go like this, it still stops. You see, even with linear, it still slows down once it goes to the character, but not as much as the other curves types. You know, like if you're on dynamic or you're on standard, you get more aim assist in those. But the benefit of this one is that you can snap into all the characters quick, even quicker than dynamic. But with dynamic, I feel like you have more control, so that's why I said you guys should use dynamic. So to simplify, linear is always going to be a little bit snappier when going from one target to another target, and dynamic is going to have a little bit more aim assist. Therefore, with this option right here, when you put it to dynamic and 0.0, then you're pretty much going to have both worlds, which is linear and dynamic at the same time, which is going to be the best when it comes to having aim assist and snapping on characters back to back. And the last most important settings is when you go to FOV, guys. This one is gonna make a lot of difference. You want to go ahead and put it to field of view 120, either 120 or 115. Most of the pro players play on either 110 or 115, but when it comes to Warzone and multiplayer as well, a lot of people play on 120. But the most important one is this one. What you want to do is just put it to affected, okay? Once it's affected, this is what's gonna happen. Your character stays on the same position stationary once you're aiming in, okay? It stays right there. When you have it on independent, it's just gonna zoom in. So if you have it on independent, this is how it shows. Look, it just zooms in. See that? You don't want it to zoom in because that's gonna make you miss shots. Of course you could see all the way to the back, but that's just gonna make you lose shots. Now if you have a really good steady aim, then you can go ahead and use it, but I do not recommend it at all. When you're using affected, it's just pretty much you could shoot from any angle and your recoil is gonna be the same way. See that? It's barely any recoil once you use the affected. So this one is pretty much important. So yeah, make sure to use your FOV from 115 to 120 and affected, how I have it right here right now. Trust me, it's gonna be way easier to control the recoil as if you were to be using independent. Now another one is that people be changing. This is like a bonus that a lot of pro players use as well, or anybody else out there. They use wide, this one. So it's like the gun shows more technically. So it's like it also feels good when you're using it, but you will have to at least get used to it. I'm not used to it, so I would just stay with default. But yeah, if anything, if you want to make it even better, just go ahead and give that one a try, the wide. But like I said, I'm on default. Make sure to please hit the like button on this video. It really helps me get into the algorithm, and it also pushes the video out there to help anybody else that having trouble with their recoil. And if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe.